Good morning. How is everyone doing? Okay, so let's start off with a review from yesterday. So I believe I left off around this point here. I'll get rid of this zone. Now, if you recall, I drilled this zone here, right? And I said discount was probably 687.50, and price went up and came back down and hit that level again, and then pushed up. I think that's for like a 14 to 1 return. So I didn't take any trades at this point. So yeah, that was bottom. Now as price started moving up, I was watching this area here develop, and so the pullback happens. I get the 1850 EMA cross right here, and I'm just watching this. And at this point, we're getting higher lows develop. And I did take an entry. I didn't hold. I think I only hold for, I believe it was like $100 return at this point. But as you can see, it was a good entry. Price kept on pushing up. Now these 2-minute zones didn't hold up. This area from the 2-minute did, but eventually broke through. However, if you notice this zone here that I drilled, this supply zone here, did come into effect. Price got up there, and then we got a rejection off of 29,125 and moved down. Discount would have been say 93.75 because price pulled back, right? I thought price would have kept on going straight down, but like I said, it'll have the pullback before it moves further down. So that would have been a good entry. If you'd entered in at 62.50 here, you only would have gotten a 1-to-1 and you would have got stopped out. However, you could take another entry. Price came to this point here for at least a 3-to-1 return. Make back the amount you lost and get a couple more back and return in from this zone to this zone. Those that did watch my trade yesterday, I got taken out because I moved my stop loss just above the break even. Had I held it, I would have gotten the 2-to-1 and been one step closer to passing the eval. I think today I need 550 to pass the eval. I thought price could have gone further down to this point, but right now, no. This is what it's looking like from the past week to this week. Now price could start rebounding and pushing back up to these levels here. It usually gets to a point where it's neutral and then it'll get support, and then it'll push higher. However, price does come back down. I'm looking at this level here, unless it gets support from any point here. But worst case scenario, worst case scenario, it could come back down to this low of day from yesterday. You never know what will happen. So we just gotta prepare for it. I did draw out these two areas here. Oh, sorry. Forgot to mention this area here. This area I drew out as soon as price got up, I think, past this point here. I drew out this level here, and if you notice, I didn't even make the attempt to take the entry. Once again, I'm still not confident enough to place an order there, even though I've drawn out the zones, and I'm typically waiting for that pullback. And when 6 o'clock opened up, it came down and then pushed back up and then came down to this level, which I drew out, this demand zone. Would have been a nice return. 5-1 if you held. This would have given me the pass for sure. But you also have to be cautious too, because these big candles, they're moving relatively fast. So you're gonna have to make the quick decision. You see this massive green candle here, almost a 120 point candle there. And anytime we get these types of candles, I'm always worried. I thought about an entry here, because this is, or was, a pullback. Generally, when you get this type of candle, I'm looking for a correction, right? And then you get this red candle that comes down. Now, if you trade overnight, there is opportunity. You get this pullback here, right? So you'd be looking at entry at 968.75. That would be around 2:22 a.m. So 6-1 return. Let's see what price does today. This zone, I did delete this 15-minute. So this zone is somewhat questionable, just because, I mean, it's tapped it once, twice. Now we're in the third. It's the third time. If anything, I'd expect price to break through this area and move higher up here, which would be 29,400, at least up here. So these highs. I think the scenario I drew out. miss this area? Let's look at yesterday's. Did I miss that area? Oh, this is yesterday evening. Never mind. So this morning. Could have been this morning. I'm just confusing myself at this point. That was last night. Sorry, that was last night. My fault. So what time would that have been at? 11:30. So you'd been trading last night, 11:30. I was discount at 28.43.75. Took an entry here, that would only be 1-to-1. However, you get this higher low. Get this pullback. If you look at an entry, well, that's like at 1:20, 1:35 a.m. Okay, market's just about to open. See if these levels hold up. If not, I'll be deleting them. Or these zones. Sorry. Simple pullback right here. And Anytime we're in this cluster here, I'm just second guessing in terms of making an entry. 125 would be the entry. To have a pullback. See if it gets any support around this area. This is yesterday's high of day. Getting some support off the 6 and 10 EMA. The 1580, I'm looking for that clean gap. See if we get that push. Right now this is looking like discount, but price can easily come back into the zone again. See if you could support off that 50 EMA. rejection. Oh. I'm looking at the MACD for any divergence. Okay, I'll probably take this zone out. Take out the order. Price wants to go down further. Or will this zone hold? Waiting for this candle to close. See if we see any rejection at this point. If not, this was the zone to go long. No. Price just took me out, so I took a loss. I was somewhat worried that price would push back. So I gotta look for the next trade. I was hoping for rejection off this and then we get the push down, but didn't happen. So the zone held up. Discount was at 31.25. Let's see if we can find another setup here. I definitely don't want to get caught up in this. So if price does come back up, I'd like it to break this area and go straight up. It's creating a bullish flag. I think I'm getting support off the 6 and the 10 EMA. But price can come back on me, so I'm looking for that 2 to 1. From yesterday's lesson, if we get anywhere here, I'm going to move my stop loss to break even. I think today I needed only 550. See if we can get support around here. get some buyer step in. Okay, so stop loss at break even. Let's see how this goes. All right, I believe I've passed. Yes, I've passed. So at this point I can activate the account to fund it and begin trading. At this point I think I'm just going to hold off and I'll trade tomorrow. I'll trade the funded account tomorrow. So we'll take out this high. Let's take out this high. I think the target that I was looking for, like I said, would have been up here, right? That's 29,400, I think I said. This would be next level here for some consolidation. This is nice. This is textbook right here. Price came back, retested this swing high, and we pushed up. So the zone is still holding up. This area is that I drew earlier still. I took it off, but if you look, it might have been this candle. Like it's holding up. Like it wicked. Well, maybe not quite closed beneath here. However, this next zone is actually holding up. Yes, so this zone is holding up. Right, it wicked down here, then it closed above. So this zone's actually still valid. And obviously this would have been perfect. Right, had you taken an entry right here. And once again, I'm not confident enough to put in an order around this area. And that's something I gotta work on. This area is not holding up. getting some retracement. Let's see if the 50 or an 80 provides support. I mean, you know what, I have diversion back here, right here. I have diversion, so anytime we have price opposing one another, we're looking for retracement. How far that's, you know, that's, you just don't know. This candle's too big to draw off of. Maybe a 1 minute or 2 minute here would work. So at this point, I'm just going to switch my account over to Sim, so I'm not doing anything stupid. So the best tip I can give you, once again, once you've made the return you're looking for, just switch over to Sim if you still want to be trading. I definitely don't want you to lose any profits you made. Okay, so we did get support off the 50 and the 80. Now what price can do, I mean, price can do this, right? And this could happen, right? Even though I know my early analysis is that I thought price could go a lot higher after this zone here. So the opposite of this can definitely happen. So this was a 3-minute trade. Let's see if this swing low might be a rejection point. Or this swing high might be a support area. So when I say rejection point, I'm thinking like that's what I'm thinking, right? And of course, if I was thinking support, right? So that's how I view it. Anytime I'm drawing out these these swing highs and swing lows, that's typically what I'm looking for. So I would have definitely looked at a short position here based off of this swing low. I'd like to see a rejection there and push down, right? Yeah, see, I would have been stopped out had I taken that. That's something you don't want to get caught up in, right? Like I got nailed here, trying to go short off this pullback. Once again, it's a zone that I drew out, and I'm more than willing to go against the zone that I've drawn out. You may look at another entry at this point if price does come down. Right now we are going sideways between this area. It's 187 and a half and 31 and a quarter. The 6 and 10 EMA are coming down right now. Let's see if it pushes it down any further or it'll burst breakthrough and continue up. Yeah, I'd taken another entry here. And that's what I'm looking for in terms of resistance. If I took another short position here. I mean, this is almost perfect where I have the 50 or the 80 there, plus the, yeah, it would have been stopped out again, plus the 6 and the 10 EMA. Sometimes it works out in these conditions where all these EMAs line up and it's a very strong resistance area to push price lower. But as you notice right now, that did not happen. after I'd taken the loss back here, I should have anticipated the loss in my mind, right? And say to myself, okay, if it takes me out, this is the zone, my entry's here, right? You got to switch right away. You got to be able to switch your mindset right away as soon as you're taking that loss. But I should have been anticipating in my mind, and then talking myself through this trade, right? Which I did not. And I was too caught up looking at whether or not price would continue further down. In the meantime, what I should have been doing is thinking things through of, you know, what if that fails? Okay, well, where's this level is holding up, price failed, therefore this level is holding up. I'm taking entry at this spot here, right? And that's a nice 3-to-1 return. Right now we're still getting lower highs. I don't know if I'm... As you noticed earlier, that swing high, however, looks like we're getting support off the 50 and the 80. Unless we see some kind of rejection here, price move lower, and then possibly a cross come, and then you'd be looking for a pullback, and then an entry short. As of right now, off the MNQ, the sellers are in control. Price moved the direction that I was looking for in the short position here. This is the target down here, right? But obviously I just needed the 1-to-1 in order to pass the eval, so my out would have just been here at 29,000. But had I been funded, I'd definitely be looking for a lot more than the 2-to-1. I'd definitely be looking for this, was it 5-to-1 return? Now, depending on which prop firm you've gone with, after you've passed the eval, generally there are no restrictions in terms of how much you can make. But during the challenge in itself, most of the time it's 50%. So if you have to make a $3,000 profit, you're looking at making $1,500 for that day and then $1,500 for the next day. You know, you can't do it all in one shot. And then once you're funded, there is no limit. So price could go sideways and then have that continuation up. So I'm kind of keeping an eye right now on what's happening with that 10 and 50 EMA. We have that, they come together and we get that continuation. I mean, the lines could easily come together and then split again, giving us that gap. It's a continuation up. Trying out the supply and demand zone will take practice. As you notice, all the zones that I've drawn out, some of them don't work out. If you've watched other traders, a lot of traders will wait until after the open, maybe half an hour to an hour after. Myself, I'll take it right off the start. Like I said, if your setup's there and you can get in, get in. But sometimes it's too much for certain traders out there where it's just too fast, right? To me, it shouldn't matter as long as you're able, as long as your setup's there, it shouldn't matter. I'd say go for it. A setup is a setup. Yeah, like I said, a lot of traders will wait until half an hour. You have the open here, and they'll wait either the 30 minutes and then start looking at this point here, or they'll wait another 30 minutes, 10:30, and start looking for entries. I missed this area right here. If I pull this back, it's just about here. So this is what I missed. Actually, here, let me move this a bit forward. So this candle here is what I missed. Right, we get this move up here, and then we get that strong push down. This should have been a candle that I should have highlighted. Right, so this would have just been wicking. And this zone would have held up. And you're looking for the short move. Okay, let's see if this area holds up. I'm gonna highlight this last swing low for any rejections to go lower. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken this entry. This is just too tight of an area to take this entry. Like I said, I need a breakout of some kind, even off the MNQ. I mean, there was a slight pullback and rejection right off the ADMA, off the MNQ. Had I been tracking the 80 and the 50, which I've done before, and I'm looking for rejection the next time price comes to it, then I definitely look for the short position. Buyers have stepped in. The zone, I believe, is still valid. Yeah, look at that. Got 38 seconds left on this candle off the 5-minute. So had a buy order here. Let's see if this continues sideways, or is this the move where we get the push up? Got a pull back off the MNQ as well. The 15 to 80 here, that gap is still consistent. A long position here. See if we get bounce off this last swing high. Of course, the target, this would be next level. See if there's any pullback. Right now that's a 2-to-1 return, 3-to-1, 4-to-1. Yeah, 5-to-1 if we're looking at up here. Close to an engulfing candle, which you definitely don't want to see. See how it closes? This massive pullback. Right now the zone is still holding. It's got to close above at least. Three seconds. Close below it. See if price can get back up there. Okay, in about 10 minutes, I'm gonna call it a day. And then I'll trade the funded account tomorrow. I was tempted to buy another eval from Lucid because right now they currently have 50% off. So I might also buy another eval. However, I'll trade that another time. Currently we're here. This is the 15, so target was up here. Target is all the way up here. So price would stall around this zone. So looking at was it 250 at least for price to start stalling? So the swing high would have been great support had price come back, tapped into this area, then pushed up. That's why you'll see me draw an extension all the way from the previous swing high. Right, another pullback. This candle's still too large. Maybe this candle here. If I pull it back here, maybe this bearish candle could be considered a area where price could come back to. But so far, I mean, this zone has been holding up, right? I do have divergence. See if price gets any support from this area. This is an engulfing candle right now. If it closes, or the last thing you need though is a correction. A bearish candle coming right afterwards. But this is an engulfing candle. Usually signals a push up. Like even here, this is an engulfing candle. Like I didn't even point that out. Like this is an engulfing candle. If you look, if you compare it to this candle, I like seeing it either even with this candle or obviously below it. So that right away is a signal that price is going to retrace. And did it happen here as well? I think it did. Once again, right, like I'm not noticing these small details which are making a big difference. Like once this candle closes right away, I should have thought, yes, that's an engulfing candle. Chance of price moving up, it's pretty strong. Right, so it's that anticipation that I still need to work on as well. So what can happen at any moment? Price can just shoot up. Unless we get another pullback. I mean, price can do this. Right? There's a scenario that could play out. This is where I thought price would start stalling. 250. And I could be wrong, and I could just, like I said, just shoot up maybe with minimal pullbacks or minor pullbacks. think I'm gonna call it a day. Thank you for joining me. I will see everybody tomorrow morning.